graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel. This was Cindy the Sky. The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday. And blood. Some of it is even yours.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable? The fuel oil catches fire immediately with an ominous hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the letters. Black smoke rises from the burning message. What if the words are not directed at the people of Martinez, or even the coalition aerostatics above the city? They're meant for something above even those. The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your face illuminated by the flames and nods silently. Then the fire falters. The flames warmed him too. Not at all in a bad way.
Let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of mazout and springtime.
Mon Dieu! You set it on fire! What kind of a policeman are you? Oh, of course. I didn't think of it. Good job, officer.
Yes?
The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches, fluttering in the breeze. Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads, RCM Emergencies Desk, number 8102, underneath a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant. The bronze ribbon twists around and within the branches in an intricately natural pattern. But there's something. There's a twisted logic in this mess. You see the ends of the ribbon, the way it flows, how it twists and turns. It's all starting to make sense. It'll be easier to remove now. With slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending, and unraveling, you manage to extricate the magnetic tape from the branches. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to re-spool it, so that you could hear what's on the tape. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help you with...
What's the tape for? How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it? You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time.
Good idea. He might have the tools.
Wow! A cop limping down the street? Bleeding from the shoulder, face bruised, looking like hell? You know what that is? Cool! That's cool!
Between you and me, this is why I don't get involved in local politics. So it goes. Now, what can I do for you? You mean respooling? Yeah, I do, but I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty worthless.
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
Huh? What do you mean? Yes, what about it? Is it any good? The music, I mean. Man, you're really invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just sit back and relax.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand. You know these visuals would look super cool in the church.
Yeah, I bet they would. All those lights in a massive church hall. A sanctuary filled with hand-picked positive photons. There would be no room for sadness in such a place.
There's a but, isn't there? There's always a but.
I rather like it here, too. So yeah, I'm not giving you my projector. This tape is all I can do for you and your friend's nightclub project.
There's no way to turn this around, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it was. Respooling isn't that difficult, although I had to mend the tape in a few places. Anyhow, it's yours now. Yeah, my pleasure. I'll do what I can for true passion projects. Just...
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath,
Hell yeah, man. I don't usually carry printed tees, but this one was just pure A fan? No, I wouldn't go that far. But I do think the Hjelmdalaman saga is an integral part. Most people don't think that the man from Hjelmdal really existed, but they're wrong.
smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your photon emissions in the fabric of things you're not going to...
You're not imagining it. Photon emissions? What?
I mean, even if the man from Hjelmdal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple, really.
Okay.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect. Besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Hjelmdal, and watched northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique energy.
It's for the best, because Hjelmdal is not a real place, and thus he could not have gone there. His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural activity. Very, very unique energies.
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
You should. Welcome to Hjelmdal, officer.
My man, you're alive. Almost. Kind of. Sort of alive? Man, what a day. I missed out on most of the action, but I heard it was quite the encounter. Had a strong sense of finality. So what's next? You guys heading back to Jamrock now? Talk is local union muscle were behind it all. I'd reckon the case is closed. Good luck with that, my man. Ain't easy being you.
A lorry stuck in the traffic. The boyadero stares at you with respect. Then,
There are types of danger. The one I'm usually concerned with is lung cancer or getting mauled by wildlife. Not It calls back to an older era, where this was commonplace though. You have a true boyadero heart, hiding, gathering themselves. The harbor's in full lockdown, friend. No getting in or out, for the time being. No, man. Not today. Today is war.
He says it matter-of-factly, like it's no big...
Time will tell. I'll tell Evrak you dropped by. I'm sure he'll be glad. I'll be okay here, doing lookout. Quite the sight, aren't they? Getting to like that red I am. Don't worry about me. I live to alleviate the worries of our brothers. See if any insane killers turn up. Then I'll run. And leave. I'm sure I'll be luckier than you, friend.
Everyone says you started crying in the middle of a firefight and then bled like a pig. I guess that was cool. Cool. That's very cool to Kuno. Just don't think 'cause you got half your dick shot off and you're an invalid now, Kuno's gonna treat you different. Kuno doesn't reward weakness. It's business as usual with Kuno. Kuno's cold like that.
Feels good for some reason.
Watch out, pig. It's a dangerous world out there. But Kuno's got his eyes on you. Who knows?
I'll die before I squeal.
Oh my god! Things have gotten out of hand! I thought the psychic stuff was bad, but the crime! It's even worse! I haven't been able to come to work for 3 days. The shop has been locked. No sales, gangbangers running around, shooting everyone. I know I shouldn't have bought a shop in this Oh my god! Even the police can't take care of all this. Just look at you. You're a wreck. Someone should do something about this. Maybe I should close the bookstore and open a psychic studio. Yes! It makes sense. Crime is the 6th element, you see. The darkest element. I could teach people to protect themselves against bad energies and to fight crime.
Yes, what Martinez really needs is more vigilantes roaming the streets.
Exactly. It's a brilliant idea. Thank you, officer. I'm going to start drawing up business plans. In the meantime, do buy the books, as many as you can.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels.
Give me a moment. The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. Poor things. This is it, the scene of the party, the fire pit. Cigarettes and empty bottles all evidence it. Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Looks like it. Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow, he doesn't want to dwell on. Humpty Dumpty Dum Center. You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center
is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you
Our tenant, the policeman, and even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble with you, policeman, though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen. I'm not sure those were the last of the men with guns either. There are always more coming for your kind.
Here he is, the man, the reality, the financial czar. You seen it yet? The reconceptualization of the monument? Your new reality situation? Other things. We're talking about your big moment here. Your time to shine. Your ascension into a household name. Well, no rush. But it'd be good to know what you make of it when you get a chance.
Good morning! Yeah! Harder car! Yeah! It was awesome and scary. Very hardcore. Too hardcore, in fact. I couldn't control it. And it sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left. Starts compressing itself and everything around it. Completely fills up the headspace. Extreme! Oh! I don't know! Maybe someone can do something with this. I imagine this is the sounds that the future could make. Yeah! Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into Deck B.
A hand on his ear, he listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
A great excitement is bubbling to the surface within him. This is big.
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready? Now, if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper.
What is this? It's good. How did you guys do that?
Yes, but what if Van Eyck based his remix on some forgotten local melody, like a folk song, and you just found the original piece that inspired him to create this jam? That would explain why it fits so well.
Nah, to me it sounds like classic Van Eyck. I don't think he needs any inspiration from folk songs. Maybe he lives in Martinez and just threw away part of his song because he thought it wasn't good enough.
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key. No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too. Something mysterious is going on here.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits! Bring up the volume!
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that? Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
Oh! But how?
What about that compressor Andre was setting up to achieve some sort of parallel processing?
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty...
But it could be hyper hardcore! Good morning! Yeah! Good morning! Yeah! Harder car!
Bzz, 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 goes the track in the background. The young man bobs his head.
Yes, what is it?
Officer Harry, you're wounded. Why are you wounded? You look terrible.
You're not limping. You're you. She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Look at you, you can barely walk. Doesn't look like nothing. Looks like you've got banged up real good. What happened to you anyway? We heard gunshots from the town. They were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
That's nothing to brag about.
Ah, it's not serious. He'll be okay.
Of course. Can I help you with something? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, I just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat, and no joy...
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two.
Aye.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with Ether, will you? Don't get too many RCM men round here. We sad to lose the first one.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety bob.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Overproductive on the glands. Here it is. It's titled Honor for the Brave and goes, I have no family. I make honor my family. I have no home. I make bravery my home. I have no desire. I make dignity my desire. I have no friends. I make humility my friend. I have no enemy. I make dishonor my enemy. This is my vow of honor for the brave. I am brave. Something like that. It's not the words that matter. It's the honor. The scruffy-haired little boy.
On that island? That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
I don't know what those are. They're lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire.
They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Because he asks to put the fire out. I don't know. He doesn't like it. He don't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes. I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes. No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know. We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there. Our father killed himself. Don't say that, he didn't. I'm sorry. There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this. The scaffolding around the old petrol reefs cluster the monument in gloves of color. Nectar scents the air and calls attention to the blossom. Atop it all sits a figure, veiled and black, sorrowful due to an unknown loss.
A fitting testament to the lives lost.
He holds the position for 2 seconds, then relaxes, turning to...
Detective, I have a few questions, if you don't mind, about this pursuit of wealth, pursuit of recognition.
He nods, eyes still on the veiled apparition above, on the troves and troves of flowers below. There's sick...
Why did you do it? I don't think anything.
A white lie.
One more question, if you don't mind. Was it all worth it? Ah, yes. Spoken like a true philanthropist. All right, shall we? We still have some things left to do before we can go home. I don't think we have time for that. And even if we did, I doubt he's around anymore. Sure.
The veiled figure towers above, mounted on a horse. Numerous rods and ropes still hold the original. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Something is wrong. Only static hisses through the speaker. No reply. Only the mindless drone of static crawling through the air.
It's been this way for a while now. My guess is the Union is listening in on our conversations and jamming outward communications to protect themselves from Crenel. It only happens when someone mentions the attack. The rest is unaffected. Our best bet is to carry on like nothing happened. That is, if we don't want us cut off the grid no more dangerous than stepping between 3 armed mercenaries and 18 men, I hope. I don't like it either, but that's the way it is. The street seems safe enough to me. If anything, taking out the mercs made things calmer. For now. You can try calling again. Just don't mention the tribunal. And remember, they are listening in.
Everything sounds okay. No drumbeat of total war yet. If anything, everything sounds too okay. In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs.
Okay, here. I hope.
Be careful out there.
The skiff floats once you get in. Have you made or remember what the net picker said? The bed is comforting. The skiff float once you get. Have you made or remember what the net picker said?
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant, in the silence, a sputter of wings. Let's go. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
It's military. As the washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was from here to the whirling. I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Skiff flip once you get. Have you made all the? Remember what the nitpicker said. It's a small tank. You won't be go.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, let's go. The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock. The skiff is...
Are you sure? There are things we still need to do here.
ICM. This feels familiar somehow.
Insular Indian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communal Army, the black and white army of the revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. It's going to be hard to say them. Carrying around all that weight on a busted crutch is making you pant.
No one remembers the ACM. The connotation is less important each year. No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the Face in...
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefrater. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Downstairs, somewhere? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator. A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
That is his idea of a joke. He nods approvingly. He even smiles. The wind outside picks up suddenly, with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm. There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
A flash of pain interrupts you, making you wince instead of letting the...
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead. Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay by me.
You don't have to be a hero. Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly like reading.
Ouzia. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him.
Again, I am not a philosopher, but whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interest.
Interesting. Soft covers, serialized fantastique. You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan.
This old cylindrical... This old cylindrical generator. Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the...
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, they terminate here. Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radio diffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer. Nothing happens. The dial slides under the glass, silently. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band. An idea lights up in your head.
This is an air-gapped system. Of air, I think they call it. That won't work. No, I'm not. But it would not be very good military technology if programmer ladies could control it remotely. Also, it's ancient, incompatible. We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
The boat engine.
My kinema? I don't want to do that. Let's just...
The console stands by, mute. A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off. Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been. Yes, cold and still, but love is warm, like the inside of her mouth. Oh fuck, yes. Go there in your head. It's been days since you thought about her. A week. No, we're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long. There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette butt, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Druan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, the legendary cigarette from Grad. Tio Moteri is favored by older men for its paper filter tips, sweet smell, and added.
The smoker is a clean person. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside. Keeps it tidy. Prefers to come out here to smoke.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation. A tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B. The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area. The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
Do you have a line of sight to the window? I can see it, through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
Why? We don't go everywhere in a 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure. Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it. Where? I have always assumed it's someone local. We should move now.
This old cylindrical the lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
A dim golden glow animates the console.
It's on. Turn emergency up.
Automatic boot. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
After you. So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here. Don't worry, I have a gun. I don't know. Extra good that I do.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
The what now? I can't hear you. I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up. My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit. I did. And you opened it. How? I should have burned that console down. The boat engine. On the water. It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a 3-Angong 446.
Southeast Samarran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samarran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Signal commune. military aid. You heard me. It's good now, like chalk wiped from the board.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safarid Empire, extinguished in '06.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog.
No. Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound, a strange sadness. The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky.
Real music. It's La Révacholière, you shit-licking bougie dog. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
Marching song. Forget about that for a moment. You need to address that remark first.
The job of a bougie dog. There you go. 1 of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favourites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess. How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now. My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orion, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duty.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was an Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. 43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human being should live, but I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't. He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. I am not a fool. I know the material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
What has he done? Perhaps a confession will lighten the load.
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the flame?
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And you could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic, the combined might of international capital, all at once, All the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not human. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. It's not an island, what? It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. Iblis, the black-eyed angel.
Shaitan Ahura, the darkened one.
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
You're insane and grotesque. Everyone steals. Vegetables, supplies. It's the life of a dog.
How is your health? Mr. Dross.
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
TRCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. I have been running out of that stuff. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno? No wonder. All your minds are rotting from the radio waves. I watched the traitors of this city turn the lights back on. More and more each year. Ruins glittering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their vein. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forget him. Drinking, laughing.
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right? I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
The older man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, The motorway's rising.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste d'Insolande. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is class. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
He was like a cleric, a shepherd.
No, the opposite of that. A future human, not a human of the past.
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places, with the rifles in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
Worn, personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bow.
Jacketed, military-grade ammunition, stable in flight, good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. He's liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him to get a confession in time.
I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal. Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eyes look at you.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal...
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get the scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. Who cares? There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and on Clausia's balcony. Is this a coincidence?
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done is just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Forget about your stupid fucking scope. I don't know where it is. Find it yourself. It's your problem now.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your musketeer pistols. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? .46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
Like a marionette on some invisible strip. This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more.
You're lost, Dwight. You're lost. Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you to...
A drop of blood in the salad. That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it. Make.
You're lost, Dwight. You're lost. I ain't going. Minions of capital. What do you want? Minions of capital. Minions of capital. What do you... Minions of capital. What do you want?
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
minions of capital. What do you want?
Is what you plan to say. Before you can get past, you're under.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
The old man looks at his rifle in your hands, a little startled for some reason. You startled him. Maybe it was the silence. He quickly gathers himself. Still, what could he be afraid?
Pretty book.
That's right. Pilot or...
You're lost, Dwight. You're lost.
soft covers. The greasy old...
The offer still stands. Take it. You don't look so good.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog you like. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Sleep. Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking, but you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be cold and mean. Let her go This is the Holy Queen of the territories of Muindi and Insulinda. Think of the historic knowledge we could glean. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Win her back. How does that fit in here? And what is the Holy Suzerain doing here anyway?
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions. She sighs and looks over her shoulder. What are you doing? Stop saying things like that.
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Hey. I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry? Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads. Sometimes, not as often as I used to. So much time has passed. More than it seems here.
This is everything I always warned you about.
Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality. Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over her shoulder.
Anyway. No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really, we don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us, our love, our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Your feet still tremble from the steps you took, as if over an enormous distance, standing against her. Her body close to you, radiating more. With your eyes closed, you move your lips. She is not kissing you back. The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, she tried not to look at your face and see the expression there. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
No, I'm just Dora. Why did you do that to yourself? You know I don't cheat, Harry. I never cheated on you.
She breathes out heavily, as if something painful has passed through her, and shakes her head. She shakes her head one more time. The evening wind rustles her hair, blowing old newspapers and fast food wrappings down the street.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. You know what this means. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something.
More questions. Ask more.
It's not, but... I don't know why I said but. There is no but. That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can. Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew. Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone. No, Harry. We can't. We already tried again, and it didn't work.
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice, and then give up. By that lot, not you too.
I don't know. Please. Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
She avoids turning them to you. They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head.
You know what I mean. A little down. You've worked there for so long, you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions. See? Let's talk about something else.
In descending order, usually. It's best to do them like...
It's not just the lists. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stayed down for too long. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
You need to recite it to her, for effect. All of it. No summaries.
Please, Harry, I just don't have time for this. Okay, stop. Yes. Are you happy now? Then why are you doing this? Very well. I wrote it. It was morning. You slept. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left, on Voyager Road. It was autumn. The first autumn. But Harry, please understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I'm no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. The coolest, with your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first kiss, my first time to have sex, the first and worst time I fell in love. I will always have that with me, it's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore. Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Le Jardin, the day we went east of the river, to the aquarium first, I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on my face, the octopuses. It was just a day then, but to think, were we there now, you could touch my hair, kiss me, talk to me about anything, go virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Now our interactions are limited to pain and...
That's sharp and precise.
No, it's all you. I always loved you for it, but it could not save us. It could not make me stay. In the end, your mind just told you precisely how bad things are. And who would want to stay around for that? No. You scared it out of me. With your crying, your hysteric, the awful time we wound up having. In the cheap rental flats you could afford. Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people.
You're a better man now. More level-headed. More normal.
No, it's too late. I found someone for whom I feel the same love I did for you. Only this time, he is more careful. He will not lose me. It will go some. Harry, do you notice how none of this is very funny? You know what I meant. We're talking about it again. It came up again. This conversation is about that again. 42. That is the light rail that took me to Coron, to school and work. Every morning. It's the same stop I met you at, Harry. 100,000 million years ago. No human being should still remember the position of atoms such eons ago. It must feel unnaturally sad. A sadness so ancient. It is shared even by archaebacteria. Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, you should let me go to the aerodrome. I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day. Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confusing me. Look, I have to be at the Lausanne aerodrome. I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
We all told you. Everyone warned you. Everyone.
Literally all of you.
My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait.
What?
I am impolite with you, Harry, because you are the past. Me and those friends will have good times together in the future. This is how human beings operate.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
The morning? I don't understand. Oh my God, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still... I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People... Yes, Harry. I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I am the ruler of the known world. Oh God, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight. I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time, so long ago. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream?
The lieutenant nods, sullen. I understand. We've all been through similar things. It can be overcome.
Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep. A dim golden glow animates. The dial slides.
Insular.
It's an air-gapped system. An off-air military model. The dial's
Insular.
It's an air-gapped system. With the door open, the dial switch has locked into place. A security measure of some sort. The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle. A dim ambient.
Yes?
There's a rain-soaked mattress.
B triple prime.
The springs trepidate. A small piece of Martinez coastline. The greasy old spring mattress. This old cylindrical generator. chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you're ready.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that.
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Minions of capital. What do you want? Pretty book.
That's right. Pile it all on him now.
I saw you.
You had direct. You've been here long.
I'm ready.
He's practically just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Not a lot of guns around.
It's a... You look...
Damn. He saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good... So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Like fuck you did. You didn't handle anything. I watched it happen. You let those beasts rip right into them. None of those people mean anything to you. The vultures feed on this city, and you...
You're getting diverted. Push the...
So you watched the fight. Did you like what you saw?
You don't know, imbecile. You lost what? Real...
Marching. Forget about that for a moment. You need to address that.
You don't understand anything. Pretty.
That's right.
You lost real...
Marching song. Forget about that for a moment. You need to...
There you go. In Grad.
That's right. Pile it all.
Not a lot of guns around.
It's a... You...
Damn. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? 4.46. Good. This feels good.
Murder.
This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little.
You lost what? Minions of cat. Pretty.
That's right.
Not a lot of...
It's... You look like...
Damn. He saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal. So he saw you.
Imbecile. I saw you.
You had that. You've been here long.
I'm ready.
He's practically admitting to it. Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Forget about your stupid fucking scope.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
Because it...
Almost. He almost... But
You lost, what? Minions of...
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
this terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
But...
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought you heard something.
Maybe we could all fit in there.
Minions of...
What? But you said I would be taken to...
This terror is the sum of all the...
Your Wayfarer rights. Do you?
But...
No,
He's sweating. Beads are formed.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the...
Maybe we...
Minions of capital. What do you want?
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This
Your wayfarer. Do you?
But... No.
He's sweating.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to...
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Your skin crawls. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly...
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you, with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster, but you don't have a gun.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out once.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you're not in. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from his head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch. You smell...
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open extremely carefully. It's the camera.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear, with the sound of metal sliding against metal. The lieutenant reveals the lens. The glass glints in his hand. As he begins to slide, you see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. The motions are quick, sudden. Something cracks in the lieutenant. He's letting his pride get...
The ampoule will produce a loud hiss. You're right. It could scare it away. I need a better moment when it's not looking.
I'll wait. I'm on standby. The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of... The creature tilts its tiny head to the side and appears to look at you. It is incredibly light, like the slightest gust of wind should blow it away. But it doesn't. There is a sadness in there. Or is it in you? From the dream. It's still with you. The pitiful, "Hey," you told her. even now. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallow, like laughter, a sort of happiness. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze. The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above, praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like structures still pretending to be plants rustle along on its joints. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
Careful, it may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts
later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best enthusiastic. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullet, shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
You, shit kid, that's you.
Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case. Good idea. It doesn't look like he thinks you're in a position to correct him on this shit.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
And people on the street helped us too, with your...
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk. guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to...
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You
Absolutely no idea. 100 years. He's right. Don't start guessing. Now's not a good time.
Yes, I'm Tran Heilerstam. I never said I wasn't Tran Heilerstam. Mikhail? Mikhail's my son. No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence. Again, I was asked to share my take on some of the more fringe academic theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. For example, partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends. Okay, you're my commanding officer. I really want to respect you. I want us to have a...
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yes, I'm still King Kisolagi.
Still caught up in this crossfire, too.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstown, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your bit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay. See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G-Baby. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing for both of you.
Do. It's a Major Crimes Unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
They're your posse, or what remains of it.
The 41st isn't...
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die. Yes, you're sorry. You're the sorriest cop who ever lived. Nothing has changed, Harry. I've heard this repentance shit 1,000,000 times over. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola.
As displayed in a station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying, or insane, or both.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Leadership, now.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability band? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. You juggle the badge for a second, unsuccessfully, and ouch! You strained your elbow trying to catch that.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun. Yeah, you don't have that. Maybe you can Philosophize your way out of it.
You're drunk, aren't you? You lost your gun and you're drunk. You're a drunk, gunless bum. I can smell it. I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
He's wounded. It's been a long week and he's handled an actual corpse.
Bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Oh well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also is all the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote compared to the 7 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking...
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the local.
Here comes the cavalry.
He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot, not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but this...
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take on Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois?
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on it.
The man sighed.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy. It's just strange, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a true blue moralist, a man of the center, not prone to political outbursts, which is commendable. Others still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know. But he is vocal about... And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Amphetamine, mostly. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as a reed. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the cake?
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name, instead. This man's mother was Lilian, his Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to...
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trot. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought...
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
And it worked? He got a war going?
Yes, until we stopped it. He saw the mercenary as an ennemi combatant. There's plenty for prosecution to pick from, as far as motive is concerned. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way, way more.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. It will pass in time.
Female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female.
Incredible. Were there
Not as far as I could see. There were other things.
It's interesting time. Forget about the rest.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called...
Bowers are built by males of the species who can't...
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
Yes, but also red-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid.
This would really help with some of the...
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it...
You're doing good here. Perhaps I would quit while you're ahead? Or no?
I don't know what a Doom commercial area is. Why? That's not what you were...
There was a fridge we needed and a possible witness. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper.
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church. That's great. Entrepreneurship is a great new career for you, after police officer.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
Who's Kuno?
You don't want to.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude?
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
You haven't been drinking, she thinks. So...
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let...
Okay. We have vehicles in the square. and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks westward, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue. Coudon is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the basement.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so...
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. Oh.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym...
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk. Yeah, Dora England, I think.
Not Dora Dubois.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way...
6 years and you haven't gotten over it? What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big, incredibly bangable. She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin.
Snow Welkin. Blonde heartbreak Welkin.
I've only seen a picture. But it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperate.
Look, the sun is about to go down.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist?
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
No. You're too unstable to work for mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take...
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a...
He would immediately back... I told you it's not that bad.
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the C-Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing.
They are damn iconic though, Torson and McLean.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me.
He's anything but a loser. Although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler than...
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys. Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic, Nix Gottlieb, pours him coffee. It's silent. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast.
Okay. It's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there. Hard.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershaw. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have...
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is...
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine. If we're gonna drop you off any...
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news.
She is going to be over the moon.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all this. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if...
Would fit him. And crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to... This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one. But he's...
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even consider...
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to...
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimneys. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the RCM. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back?